we are back again with Bourbon with a splash of sports, and we are your hosts. I am T Rock. To my left is Will. I am.
What's going on? What's going on? Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Got my man, the Don.
You already know.
And the newest and greatest member, Ron G.
How's everybody feeling, man? Y'all doing all right? What's going on?
It's game day, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's game day. It's game day. A little bit of what? Get you a little bit of that bourbon with a splash of sports, all that good stuff. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. You know, get you a little bit of something before the big games tonight. I know you probably watching a little bit, but you know you need to go ahead and get ready for this this great show. The Don, what you got for us today, my brother?
What we got today? I mean, if you're a bourbon, a big bourbon drinker, you probably know a little bit about this. Blanton's, straight from Buffalo Trace Distillery. This is original single barrel we have here. 93 proof. So, Blanton's pretty smooth. Some people think about it. Some people like it. Some people don't. It's like, if you like it, you really like it. Or, it's okay. But some people like Blanton's ain't when it's all built up. To me, it is what it is. I mean, it's bourbon. It's bourbon. So, I've already distributed this among us. Let's see over here.
We're doing the smells.
Yeah, see, you gotta do the nose. That's what it is. The nose. You gotta nose the bourbon.
Way better than that.
You gotta nose.
Hot.
Mm-hmm. Spicy. What was it? Spicy. What was the last time? What was the bourbon last time?
Hot.
Nah. That was rough. That was rough.
It was Mr. and Mrs.
That first time, the first show, man.
That Blade Bo.
Blade Bo got y'all the head y'all drink with it. So So now what are y'all nosing from? Are y'all getting anything from?
Well, so Don, I get a little bit of that caramel, that butterscotch.
Some of that love.
And see, it's funny though. See, once you look it up, they talk about you smell a leather, little apple, little caramel.
Okay.
I get the apple.
Yeah, you get the
I
apple.
get the apple.
Yeah. Little something.
Yeah.
And it's like a little oak, like an oak spice.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I would say too. I know it's gonna sound weird that it's almost like it has a great uniform smell. And why I say that because that's a single barrel. Most, a lot of times it's just a blend. Right. Several barrels with several different. They're not all necessarily the same age, and sometimes that adds a little complexity to it. And you can you'll get that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Take deep, you'll get that. This don't have that. It's very,
Man, you really have grown.
I mean,
I had to branch out.
Because anytime it's be that tequila.
This is the sniffer.
That's another show.
Yeah. Right. So,
cheers, fellas.
Cheers, man.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Oh, that lay on the
Yes,
tongue.
sir. Yes, sir.
Right
Yes, sir.
it'll linger. It'll linger.
I hear a little bit of oh my gosh. I hear a little bit.
I heard the cash register at the store.
Yeah, I definitely hear that one.
But see, the thing about Blanton's, it's one's hard to find. It's one of those alligators because it's more demanding than there is bottles, but then if you find it, you're gonna pay a little price on it. Sometimes you'll go and you have your certain stores. I ain't gonna plug the store because y'all ain't paying me.
Ain't sponsoring.
So so at the same time, certain stores that have it like maybe the allocated bourbons that you don't find a lot, and they'll drop it in the mornings. They'll give you a little late, and they'll pay. It's the price. They pay the retail price, so they're not going up the secondary marketing price because the secondary market you paying $150, something like this for this.
Well, the way things are going, it'll probably be like $50 when it's all said and done.
At the same time, the bourbon right here is just costing bought this for $69.
Right.
Yeah, $69 is all you paying.
You know, I get a little bit of. But I was saying, I get a little bit of UGK playing in the background. I'm just sipping on this,
All right.
getting that, rocking and rolling with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's good. Man, this is well. I ain't gonna
Don't
say
make a
that.
face and nothing.
So then we tasting a little. Like a little vanilla. Like a little apple. A little oak, some sweet spices, some spices
Yeah,
around there.
It does have a spices.
Yeah.
That's not a
It
rye,
does.
but it has a little of that same. That's
Right.
why I like rye because it has that extra
But see-
spice. I like that.
But the thing about it now, they say the Blanton's has like a high amount. It's not rye, but it's a high
High
amount.
amount of it in the mash.
In the mass. So that's a good point.
Sure
And then you
will.
might even taste a little nutmeg or something. And then you think about the finish. When the finish,
little corn in there too.
it's a little long. The finish lingers in there.
Yeah.
And it's might be a little dry and spicy, maybe a little bit if you let it.
You leave it there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's mellow, smooth, it just lingers through. It ain't no type of burn that you
True.
don't feel it
Yeah,
at all.
about that. Now the other ones.
That's all.
Like I said, you can easily. This is made right there in Frankfurt, Kentucky.
Oh.
Right, Buffalo Trace Facility.
Yep. Go ahead and get your birth certificate and get you some blank.
Take a little tour or something.
Both of y'all ain't got that birth certificate. Y'all to get that.
Man.
I had to go there and get back.
I did it. We go.
All right, man. Okay. Let's rock and roll, man. Y'all know what we do. We got some topics to talk about. You know, that's a splash of sports. Let's go ahead and let me see what we got right here. Here we go. You got it, Ron.
LeBron confronts Stephen A. over criticism of his son. It's been all over the news last week or so. You know, for those who don't know, Stephen A. went to the Lakers game. LeBron walked up to him, told him in no uncertain terms he doesn't really like criticism of his son. You know, and Stephen A. has had some, you know, he's been on First Take talking about it. I think he went on Gilbert Arenas show too.
Yeah.
Talked about it a little bit. You know, from my perspective, you know, I kind of see both sides of it. I feel like LeBron, you knew Bronny was. That's not usually how guys are able to come in the league from
Right.
a performance perspective. He didn't get a lot of opportunity at USC, so you know he's still kind of green.
Right.
And in the NBA, chews up green dudes and spits them out. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of come with the territory. Like you kind of had to know that if you brought him up here not ready, everybody was gonna be like, "Well,
Right.
he's here because of you." You see what I'm saying? That's just what people are gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But you know, my thing with Stephen A. is like, Stephen A., come on, dog. You've been going at that man for how long? Right or wrong?
Right.
You've been going at him. You know it's gonna hit different coming from you. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying you're right
He
or
ain't the
wrong.
only one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you've been. It's to the average observer. I don't know what you mean to, but it comes across a little adversary. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like because you the guy that they comparing to MJ, and MJ's my guy, I've got to defend him against you in particular. But you've been playing 20 years, bro.
Right.
So that means you've been shooting there for 20 years. You try to keep it somewhat level, but on the strength, you've been shooting there for 20 years. So when his son came in, you say anything even close to that, that's why he reacted like he's a parent. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that
But you know what, though? Let's keep it a buck. You're a parent, but you're a parent that the Lakers bend over backwards to get this boy in there. He didn't deserve. He don't deserve to be in the league. None of that. And even Stephen A. when he was saying he was on these shows, he was like, pretty much, I ain't even addressed Bronny. You know, basically, I'm like looking at him. You setting him up for failure because you know he's not ready. You know he does not deserve the G League.
And it's like everybody. It's not like 60% of the people think he's not ready.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
And the thing about it is, dude played on the first in the first game. First all scripted. The Griffiths was there. Come on, man. Why would the Griffiths be there if Bronny wasn't gonna play? You knew when you saw the Griffiths,
there wasn't no way.
it was already set
There
up.
wasn't no way.
So my whole thing is, man, even if LeBron is paying for this, paying his salary or whatever the hell you want to say, you really did set him up for failure. You know he's not ready. But this was the game plan. This was when you went to the office, not even with the GM. You went to Jenny Butts.
That's it.
I'm gonna need this to happen. I've been here. I can go some other place. I can retire. I'm gonna need you to do me a solid. Do this. Hook him up. With Brian, okay, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Then Blanton found out, and then it was. I mean, your hands is tied. But what I'm saying is that your mother did the same thing to you. Your mother, as you did, try to save you when you got in a big fight. You got a big fight your rookie year and stuff like that. Mom Deuce coming to her, trying to protect you. You told her to sit her ass down. Then all of a sudden, you doing the same thing. But what do you expect? It's supposed to happen.
But I mean, let's keep it real. You're in the public spotlight, right? You're in the public side. Are you really above criticism? Nope. Is anybody that's in a position like that above criticism? Now, I'm not saying you should dog dude, but are you above? But are you above criticism though? You can't be above criticism and be in the line of work that you're in. It just doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work.
You know what I'm saying? You got to take the good with the bad. You've done it for 20 years. People will compare you to MJ for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's even when Kobe was there. You know what I'm saying? For 20 years, they've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get criticized. You know what I'm saying? And even if he was addressing Bronny is not above criticism. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying talk bad about the guy. But you can criticize, you know what I'm saying, what went down and how it went down and how you don't think he's ready to actually play in this league.
Give him that same heat that you would give anybody else that was a second round 55. Let's put it this way: they don't play. Most second round 55
that's what I was going to say. Usually, this is the unique scenario where there's the guy there to talk about it.
right.
Nobody talks about guys because there are a lot of guys that did the exact same path as Bron.
Right.
They got picked with the 55th pick.
Right.
They might. Maybe a lot of them might start the season with some injuries.
Right.
We need a full roster to sit on the bench. Might have started, send them straight to the G League, but those guys don't get talked about.
True.
So so this is like a unique scenario to begin with that you're talking about. You see what I'm saying?
So when you're saying if your son was really good, you wouldn't have to worry about it. If I went in the first round and you can get away with it.
Even if he was terrible, but he averaged 19 and 12 at USC.
In college, you say he didn't do that.
Because he might still get weak, but then it'll be like, well, people get food all the time.
What do you average?
You know what I'm saying?
What do you average? 4 points in college? Something like that? Something crazy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that much. Now we know you don't want me to get started on this Bronny situation. It's the Bronny situation to me. It started way back in history.
Okay.
Right before this draft and everything else. Like Stephen A. even said, when they was talking about even Bronny in high school, Stephen A. said, I ain't seen him in high school.
Right.
I ain't seen him. So I don't know how good he is. So at the same time, he said the man, he averaged, like I said, less than 5 points in college. You don't see him because he really didn't play. Stephen said, but then he goes and like, okay, I'm declaring myself. You doing what? Okay, come on. And at the same time, Stephen A. is like LeBron. You already know your son ain't ready. True. You knew he wasn't ready. I mean, that's the thing. You put him in that position. And I'm going to say it from a Lakers fan myself. It's like,
you back?
You shut up.
You're back. Okay.
Nobody's playing tonight. Everybody's hurt tonight. But anyway, so it's the point. You strong arm the organization.
Yep.
And you told them what you want if you want me to state it.
Right.
I mean, and it's the thing is, I don't like how he did that. I mean, he's one of the greatest, no doubt, but I just don't like how he compromised the system of our organization to get like that, to get Bronny, because Bronny should be nowhere on here. You
Let's,
take it, and myself, LeBron should did all that off camera, behind the scenes. You could have hit him at a restaurant, a bar,
But-
at his crib.
But the only thing I disagree there is I agree with the premise of what you're saying. But
he needed to put him on
he
Front
talked
Street.
about him the whole time in front of everybody.
Front Street. He needed to put him on Front
So
Street.
you see what I'm saying? It's not like Stephen A's been talking.
But Stephen A.
To
shouldn't even
LeBron.
back down because what he gonna do? He
That-
gonna
that-
fight you right now
But that's
on the
that,
job.
But see, that's actually part of my problem right there. That was part of my problem because I'm kind of like everything y'all said is right. That criticism is well deserved. I just was like, it's almost like Stephen A. was surprised. It was like, bro, you've been going at it for that long, then it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? When he comes to me, then I'm just going to deal with it, especially because I can't be on the show all the time talking about I ain't hard to find.
Always.
And then somebody
Always.
finds you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
But it's in his eyes, it's the softest superstar. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do nothing. Well, you should have.
and I mean, I can see.
And I ain't nobody talking about
And
fighting.
And to your point, I can see where if it's like if I was really talking about you, but you come at me like don't talk about my son, it's almost like, oh, don't. Do I know what he's talking about? Do I know? And that freeze.
Right.
And by that time, you know what I'm saying? And LeBron like, don't talk about my son. Like he walks off. Then it's like the end of the story. Cause he just got his deal, did he? What it like
Just
that
like-
day or the day
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, he said that.
Celebrate.
He's fresh.
Celebrate.
Out
Celebrate.
in $100 million deal, he's like, do you know how much you gonna have to do to me mess his money up?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on, and then we need to do with some more Blanton and stuff. How many guys do you know that average less than 5 points, suffers a heart attack, and gets drafted in the league?
Yeah.
No, I don't care who you are. Even if you average 25 points and had a heart attack, that's a wrap, bro.
It almost sounds like a dumb question.
You know what I'm saying? That's a wrap. Ain't no way they messing with you. Come on, bro. It's scripted. But the thing about it is, the crazy thing is, once he hangs it up, Bronny, you're hanging it up too. And I'm like, no me.
Yeah.
No me.
Yeah, he gotta go overseas or something.
You don't have to play a single.
Go overseas.
Oh, you got to become a coach. Actually, you need to just go touch sports. That'd be your best move, right? All right. What next, man?
What's the next?
Come on,
We
Fanny.
got what we got.
I'm going to tell Fanny. And you know what I'm talking about. Come on, Fanny. What we
I
doing?
mean, let's go at least smooth it out. Even though it's 93%, it ain't really nothing to smooth out. Let me just put
Put a cube in
a
there.
cube, just a little cube. Because then you let that bad boy. Oh, well, let's get some. I guess some refills.
I want my ice
Oh, we got some next one that come in. Get that man his cue first, baby.
cream. Yeah, I want my cube first.
He wants to pour it over the cue.
Yeah,
Yes.
over
Yes. That's that world traveler.
You know, that's
So I said, it ain't too much. We ain't looking at a big cube. Just
I
You
can't
know,
claim.
Oh, okay, my fault.
I can't claim past North America, bro.
a little selective. My cube size.
Are you looking for that Blanton cue?
Got Buffalo Trace engraved in it.
Yes, sir. I know. That's y'all give me this. I'm at yeah, there you go. Splash. Let everybody know, man, what this does. Though.
Talk about what the ice does with it.
Well, I mean, it's all it is. The ice, you take even the 93, like I said, just 93%. Mostly, I do it with the higher upper because 93% really ain't that. But you know, some okay, but you want to smooth it out, just lay it out some ice because most of the time you put it in there, you're gonna let it. Most of the time it'll be the big cube or something.
Okay.
And you'll let it at least start watering down a little bit, and then you taste as it smooths even more out right there. I mean, some people even like I said, 93 might be a lot for them. That's all it's gonna do is just smooth it out some more than what it is.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
So it can get.
That's why pops used to do that. He used to cut his with water. You know what I'm saying?
That's an old school trick.
Yeah. It's a daily.
I work with an old cat. He
That's
said
daily.
before he goes to bed, he'll have a couple bourbon and waters.
Yeah.
Shit good.
I believe it. And that buzz tip, baby.
Yes,
That is good. That is good. Okay. All right.
Go ahead, so
Go with next.
move on.
Okay, that's cool. 'Cause, I mean, hot potato, hot potato. All right. If Louisville is the best sports TV market
Y'all know that.
in the country, right? That's what we claim. Why are not there more events here?
Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and there's all kind of ways you can approach this. I'm going to approach it from this perspective of bureaucracy, right? And here's why I say that. As a wrestling fan,
Okay.
back in the day, you used to be able to go to the wrestling events, Attitude Era, Raw, SmackDown. Used to come all the time. We had pay-per-views here. I was at Judgment Day 2000. You know what I'm saying? It was just all these things going on, but then all of a sudden, nothing. What happened was bureaucracy said, okay, well, we're no longer going to have events that's going to have blood in it. Years later, they lifted that. WWE started coming back again. UFC Fight Night came. The biggest gate they had for a fight night was here in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, and then we'll be back.
Yeah.
They will be back. Now, again, I don't know how UFC schedules their stuff. You know, Raw, as a matter of fact, Raw is going to be, WWE Raw is going to be back in Louisville in May.
May 12th.
Right? So, from that perspective, again, it's a bureaucracy thing. Now, again, I don't know how they schedule the Yum Center type stuff, but from all indications, the Yum Center itself, I understand they're still losing money for the city every year. So if it's still losing money, and we're the number one sports, market in the country, then why don't we take advantage of those things? Right? What is holding us back from? There is no reason why the NCAA tournament should not be here. So there is no reason why when the World Cup comes, it should not be here. We have a top-notch soccer stadium. There is no reason for these things to happen. And for the life of me, other than the bureaucracy part of it, I just can't make heads or tails of it.
I would say, I don't know. And maybe I have to stretch a little bit outside the sports here. But there was a little bit of old story. There's a little bit of old story, I think, about Louisville. Because Louisville for a while, for example, a lot of concerts would skip Louisville. They come to Cincinnati, they come in now, they go to Nashville, but they wouldn't come here.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So I wonder how much, it's almost like we're still rookies at having all the things. You see what I'm saying? We're a rookie at having the arena you got to have. We're rookies at having the soccer stadium you got to have. We're rookies at having the downtown atmosphere that you got to have to support it. The restaurants, the hotels, the bars, you know what I'm saying? We rookies at having it. So we are not in the rotation. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of spots where it's almost like, oh, they come to Louisville? You almost surprised. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, they've been on tour. That same person been on tour 10 years and never stopped, and all of a sudden they drop off. But it's like, yeah, but they got to support it now. So I think for us, we just have to learn to act like we got it all and get aggressive. You see what I'm saying? Where you can't say all the little things why we can't do it. We answered them questions now.
But for years you always hear about them wanting to get the pro basketball. And this question to me is you fall behind because you're too busy being a one-trick pony. These cities, other cities around us, came up, continue to put money in, invest, did what they had to do. We're still behind, and we was not behind. We was right there on even keel, right? But I just think the vision is messed up. We're fighting for the catbirds. You remember them? The catbirds and all that crap. Man, get us the real deal, bro. For real. Like you said, certain events should be here, man. Boxing should be here all the time. I mean, Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Why not? Now we have sporadic stuff, but hell, they be fighting over in jail than over here. And it's crazy because I just think we're still stuck really on one sport. It shouldn't be that way. Build it and they will come.
And that's what I feel like.
Yeah,
Essentially, it's what they were doing too, because with the invention of Nulu.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're giving people places to stay and to go.
There
True.
you go.
You know what I'm saying? You're building more hotels and apartments downtown. You're trying to give it the big city feel.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Especially by putting, townhouses and all that downtown. And I get it. You know, but it's like we're the one negative. I guess it's kind of a negative and a positive. We have a mayor that's a developer.
Yes.
Yes.
Businessman.
It's a good thing because he's at least smart enough to help develop things to bring people here.
Yeah.
Bad in the sense that he's probably asking his buddies to come do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not giving enough people, not giving enough people a chance. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. I mean, you talk about a man who's also involved in OVW.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So Louisville has rich traditions and just about everything. You know what I mean? But nobody wants to come to a boring town.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? So I get
What took so long for Nulu? Right? You know what I'm saying? That's
Old
what gets
money.
me.
Old money.
Yeah, but also that's true. And I agree.
There it is.
Kind of like even when you go to these college towns, right? Like college actually towns that don't have the population that Louisville has, but you go to Ohio State college town, filled with different things to do. You know what I'm saying? And but different things like that. So like you still want that feel. You want that. Hey, we got that, but you also want the pro feel. Do something. Do something. Build around something. Either you're going to build around this young center and give what everybody needs and wants, or you need to do it. We don't got nothing. Nulu is, and I'm proud of them, and they have some other stuff. But man, what's going on? You said it. That old money, that stubborn money, don't want to back it up.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, though, when you think about it. We surely deserve more. Like, we miss so many comedians coming through. So many, I'm not a big concert goer no more like I was when we was younger. Because when we was younger,
Oh man,
we was getting top-notch concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Top-notch. I mean, they was coming through Jay, Biggie,
Right.
LL,
Gardens.
Woo. All them guys was coming through. I mean, it ain't nothing like, these concerts these days and all those other kind of artists that I can't even name, that if they walk past me on the street, I wouldn't know who the hell they are. But it's like, we get that crap right there. We don't get the top. I mean, even though you have those little festivals in the yard and come, but it's the same old thing to me. I mean, you got the same old people that's coming.
But speaking of the festivals, even with the festivals, you're bringing out of town people here, which is a good thing. But
Great thing. On that.
Yeah, and you're bringing a lot of money to the thing. But in the aspect of that too, I mean, are you gonna go? Who in this room is gonna go to Loud and Light?
Right. See, I wasn't even talking about those things.
No, but I'm just saying.
No, he's just bringing up. Yeah.
I should have go to Bourbon and Beyond.
Bourbon Beyond. Yes, Bourbon and Beyond.
Well,
Yes.
it has bourbon.
Yes.
That's all you have the name for me.
But it all depends on who's coming, right? Right.
Oh, it's a concert?
This is festival.
I don't know more bourbon.
It's
Okay.
one of the biggest
Okay.
festivals in the town. It's one of the bigger festivals.
All that Bourbon guy.
I would say this though. I think too though. Sometimes you just have to. I just feel like we. If we continue to quote unquote prove ourselves with the opportunity we do get, I think it will reciprocate. So Beyonce came,
Right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, it is.
Beyonce came and had a whole side of the city hemmed up.
Yep.
You couldn't do nothing.
I know. I was there.
You get in that traffic,
There.
it is a double wrap. You see what I'm saying? But
Spend more time.
ain't no way that her people saw that. And was like, oh man, they came out. It wasn't like they was like, oh man, they didn't come out. Yes, they did. Well, so that means other stars of that ilk. That's what they want.
Yeah.
When they come to a city, they want to tear it down. They want to see it shut down.
Right.
You want Taylor Swift to come, you want to gotta shut it down. But they don't even care.
But
And I
let's
feel like
say-
the more we do it, and you gotta think too, is Louisville newer in some areas than others? Like in other words, do the big country acts come, but the big R&B acts don't come?
Well, let's
See what I'm saying?
Let's still stay focused. Sports Center, though. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the whole thing, being a heavy sport, because we get people concerts, but we're talking about the sports thing, right? And that's what do you want? You want to be big, but you don't want to put in and put out for it, and that's a problem.
I wonder what it takes. Like, I wonder where those connections lie. So if we said when, some of these little friendly matches, there'll be like some other country come in, be like a friendly match or somebody.
Right.
Like, how do you get in the rotation for that? You see what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of opportunities. I'd be interested to know, like, how do you get in those rotations? Because it's kind of like you get in one, you get two or three, because that's what these other cities are doing.
Yeah.
It's to the point we ain't got to work now. We just call and say we coming.
It's got to be somebody, especially local government. There's got to be somebody there who can make the connections or have connections to bring these sports teams, these sports events to Louisville. There's got to be somebody there. You know what I mean, that's the only way this is going to happen, because you might take the most affluent people in the city. And they may have the money to do it, but do they have the influence to say, okay, yeah, we're going to bring World Cup stage here to Louisville? No. But it's somebody in the mayor's office that works with, say, Louisville FC and racing, says, okay, look, this is our facilities, this is what we have, I can sell this to you, you know what I'm saying, as a thing, and we'll fill this whole stuff up. And then this whole part of town will be sold out.
Okay, but Bobby's talking about soccer. I'm going to get back on, because I'm just thinking about just looking at and pay attention to the question once again, as in best sports TV market, regardless of that, hands down. And then you look at the Yum Center, one of the top college, arenas there is.
Period.
Sit 22,000.
Period.
Why? Yes. Yeah. And why can not we be hosting, like we said, a game coming this weekend? We should be having.
Well, we've been in the rotation now, so come on, guys. We have been in rotation.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about it. I'm going to let them say about it.
Every year.
If Louisville had a professional basketball team, the Yum Center would be the largest arena in NBA. It would hold more people than anything.
Yes, right.
The only one, the second would be United Center. They built a brand new arena for Golden State, and it doesn't even hold as much as the Yum.
That just lets you know what they think. The fan craze that the city of Louisville or the University of Louisville has, right? So, no, it drives a point, but hey, you gotta perform, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make it happen. What we with now, Don? What we gonna try now?
All right, well, what I was going to tell you, I'm going to just point you into a little history. I guess we can talk about it.
So, look,
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna. So it's still an aged Buffalo Trace distillery, Frankfort, Kentucky. Single barrel, empty by hand. The whiskey is not blended or altered at all.
Oh, that's right.
Other than being reduced in strength. So one of the distillery early leaders, Albert B. Blanton, used to save particular barrels from the middle of the warehouse to produce special bottling, thus producing the first single barrel bourbon. So the Blanton's brand took concept to market in 1984.
Oh, went too far.
Under the guidance of master distiller Elmer T. Lee. And you talk about
Elmer T. Lee.
Elmer T. Lee.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
We got to put him on the show.
Yeah.
We got to talk about him. Yes, sir.
Guy.
Yes, sir.
T.
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
He's that guy. I'm straight.
So, right there, it's the bottles appears in number, and one thing too, the bottle might pop up on TV every once in a while in different shows. If you watch John Wick,
Yep, that's what he. Yep.
John
Yes,
Wick
sir.
drinking
Somebody
Sure
did their
was.
homework.
Yes,
And
sir.
I don't know, some of y'all out there might have watched the new show
Oh, what is
called
it?
Paradise.
I thought I was going to say the bourbon splash. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
The new show called Paradise.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't even think of it.
Yeah. Sterling Game Brown. That's on
Sterling Brown.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
And this takes, in the future, as in the show and everything else, and they got a little bar.
Right.
And funny enough, the president be talking about drinking Blantons.
Love it.
And it's pretty good.
You trying to hit a home run today, ain't you?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I hear you, man.
All right.
All right, let's get it. Let's
Can't
get
go
it.
too wrong.
What we got next?
What we got next? Go ahead, Don.
Cooper Flag. We all know this guy. We heard his name plenty. Mr. ACC Player of the Year. Does he go to the NBA or does he stay for a second year at Duke with NIL money? And if he goes to the NBA, who knows? Who knows? As in the experts are predicting, could get drafted by Charlotte, Washington. Does he really want to go there? I mean, it's the whole process of how much these guys are getting paid now in that NIL. I mean, they getting better money than a rookie did.
How much you think he's making?
He ain't making rookie money. He ain't making rookie big money.
How much you think? Now, for real.
But I mean, you think about it.
Throw a number out.
That's in the first year, though.
Throw a number
First
out.
year. I was going to say three.
Three.
I was definitely about to say
It might be more than that, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because
I was going to say three.
Hunter Dickinson has been robbing Kansas for years. Couple years now. He was the highest paid. He ain't the highest paid no more.
Yeah.
They seen it.
Him and Green Oversoul.
I mean, it's funny enough because
still on
how much this man could be, how much the NIL deal now is kind of an influence. Like, you really don't have to go off into the NBA as soon. You don't got to worry about your money because at the same time, the NIL is taking care of you. And the money is out there for him, and he can always demand for more.
I think you hit on a point, though, when you talk about the teams that potentially be drafted. Because I think that's going to come into play at some point. You're going to have a number one pick that's going to get there, and they start to see how that lottery is shaping up. And it's like, I don't want to play for them. So maybe I'll stay for another year and see if it shakes out there. But to your point, I do have one slight disagreement.
Go ahead.
If LaMelo can stay on the floor,
Woo!
and you send Cooper there with what they already got, they might be all right.
But also, NBA has that lottery system.
That's what I say. You got to see how safe
That's the difference.
You got to see how safe
That's the difference.
Now look, NFL rules start.
You start. I'm not going there. I'm not playing. I sit down and get the NL money. That one, you may have a team.
You might take a risk and mess up. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Probably
Yeah.
miss. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying Detroit's going to miss. I think they're going to be in there. But a team like Detroit who got some young guns, you think you get the number one pick and you done missed out because you like,
Yep. And they're like a play or two away. Exactly.
Him, look, young. That's a young
Yeah.
talent right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like you add that Cooper Flag in there.
So I mean, I get what you're saying, and you're right. Because the thing about it is that we all know what drives the engine. We talked about it before. Football money drives the engine. So do you honestly think that the money, the TV shares that Duke gets, that they ain't putting it in football.
They
They ain't
got
putting it in
plenty.
football. Get up,
Plenty.
You go get 25 to the team, let them do whatever they need to do in all these other sports. Period. So he's getting taken care of. And then, you got these agents. So ain't no if we was in North Carolina right now, this boy's face is probably every other commercial.
Man, all over the place.
Oh, Lord.
Piggly Wiggly,
Billboard.
all that
He
shit.
ain't so many wings, hamburgers, and drink.
Roosters. He the only one doing roosters and damn Hooters.
Enriched water. He got everything.
It's everything.
He might be on some of them lawyer commercials
Yeah.
down on TV.
Everything. Everything.
Planet Fitness.
And that was the deal. That's
Yeah.
the deal with him and his mom was talking crazy to everybody because they paid. You ain't talking crazy to everybody unless your son's taking care of him. He's untouchable.
Right now.
Yeah. You get in the league is a whole different story.
Oh, different.
Well, we done had athletic dudes like you. You know what I'm saying? But right now, so to go back to it, what do you think, Don? Do you take it? Do you chance it with the lottery, or do you just come back and do it?
That's a good question.
Well,
If you were his parent, what would you?
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna by my parent as a talkative parent, just like I'm talking to my son right now. All right, cool. Now look, we got a decision to make. All right, you got a decision to make. Because the thing about this, right? The thing about this is something could happen just like last night.
Yeah.
Where the injury, where knowing
but
it's just he twists his ankle. Who knows?
Yep.
He might not play no more in the tournament.
I wouldn't put him in no ACC.
Not at all. You see what they did yesterday and what they're doing right now.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like that could possibly happen.
True.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at go ahead, take your worth, take your game to the NBA game.
Yeah.
Because you just still never know. Because things change quick, times change, and who knows what it could happen next year.
True.
And as in, like you said, it's potential as in Charlotte could have a 33% chance, and Washington could have a 23% chance.
Right.
Detroit could have a 6% chance. But when those balls are popping and falling and it comes out, and you go to Orlando or somewhere or something like that, it is what it is. You're gonna take that money and you're just gonna go and go to the NBA and see what you can come out.
What you think of Trav?
Go to the league. Just go to the league. You've already proved yourself to some of those cats anyway. You know what I'm saying? You practice against them. You know what I'm saying? And was it right before it was the Olympics?
Olympics.
They know you can play.
Yeah.
They know you can play with them. You know what I'm saying? You can probably, whatever you get in your rookie contract, you know what I'm saying, as far as what less you get,
Right.
you can always make up an endorsements and stuff like that. We're talking about an 18-year-old kid who could potentially, he's got the world in front of him. You know, one of the very few 18-year-old kids who go in there and play. He's special. He's an extremely talented kid. I mean, like, I'm not saying he's the next LeBron, but what I'm saying is he's got all the skills to be an NBA player probably for the next 10 to 15 years.
How many times have we seen this though? Right?
Several.
Zion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he is better than Zion was. I think he has less. I think he has more responsibilities because of less talent on the team.
I mean, yeah,
That's why he leads. Well, I mean, he has to. He has
That's
to.
why he leads every category.
Yeah, but if you look at Zion's team, they had other. Well, Zion was 18 too.
I'm saying he's leading.
I just think that Zion had more talent around him, and he still was that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like we've seen this, and I'm with you. I mean, I say go down. I mean, ankles. What if you broke it, fractured, all that kind of stuff? I'm with you. Go down. That money's gonna be there. They're gonna take care of you.
One other thing, just to
Go
add to that point is, and I mean no disrespect, but this doesn't appear to be the strongest draft class
Yes, take it
that
like
it's
you can.
ever been.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's cooking guys.
Get it.
But next year might be some guys coming you can't cook.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't see him getting out top 5. No way, no how.
Right.
As far as top 5,
no.
there ain't no way. I don't think you can pass
The
that.
player he
I don't
is
think he
against
has
for
it.
the player of the year is a grown man. Broom's a grown man. And Broom is a liability on defense. Cooper can play defense. He does offense. He's like you said, he's a 5-tool player, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going against a grown man for the award, and he's probably going to beat him because that grown man can't play defense to save his ass. So go ahead, go. Why not? These other guys, and this crazy thing is that they in a battle right now, and they have enough talent on the team to win the tournament without him.
Yeah.
That's how loaded they are for this heavy, dominant SEC world.
Mm.
They
Say it again.
period.
Yeah, but that
Period.
don't nobody know check. Not him.
At all. You got them. You can get them first of the season, but it's different now. But it is what it is. You save them and you rock and roll with it. Let's go on and get this last question. This kind of stuff. How can Jefferson County Public Schools make games safer after so many incidents this past fall sports season. And basically, if you're not from the 502, a lot of incidents, especially with the football games, and then you have with the basketball games, you have, and it's not even just this year. You have a lot of things that happen that that they say you can't bring book bags. And first of all, why are we bringing book bags? If you can't go home, leave it in your locker. Whatever you got to do, forget the homework. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But it's so many. We had some incidents at PRP. People throwing guns over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, incidents at Butler High School, breaking guns. All this kind of stuff, right? So it's an issue. We're too busy worrying about the wrong thing. We hit it on the head last time we met. We talk about these fields. We talk about let's get these safety first. Safety first. When the mayor called me, and this was last year, and it's the mayor, not y'all mayor, our mayor.
That's all.
Our mayor.
Not y'all mayor.
Yeah, not y'all mayor,
Yeah.
our mayor.
Yeah.
Took his daughter to a game, and he had to leave early because it was out of control at Butler. See what I'm saying? Like, when you can't take your kids to games because of safety control, let's worry about that on the fields. Hell, I played for one of the schools that has money, all that kind of stuff, right? The field was horrible, but it was traditional. I don't think, and like we said on the show last time, you're doing these fields to bring people in. If you're gonna play, you're gonna play. Everybody got these fields. I get it. Safety first. I would like to take youngins, daughter, all that stuff to games and do what they got to do, but if I can't do it because of safety, that's what we need to do with that. What's going on? How can we prevent that? Right? And you see where backpacks wasn't allowed. You see where certain students, like if you wasn't a student from the school, if you wasn't a parent, all that kind of stuff, and I hate that, but you're going to have to do that because it's all about having the pulse of the community. My uncle, Eddie Woods, No More Red Dots, big time gang prevention, all that kind of stuff like that. What you need to do is get with these people like Dr. Eddie Woods and everybody else and just get the pulse of the community and make her suggestions because there's a lot of kids that are involved in a lot of stuff that they should not be. And they bring it to school. And where can you see Ron at on a Friday night? Don D on a Friday night. All that. T-Rock on a Tuesday night. Basketball. You know what I'm saying? Easy targets. What can we do? I don't know. I don't have a solution. But to me, I'd rather you spend money on protecting families than on a football field.
Do you think it goes to the question we talked about the other week? We talked about how many schools it is.
Too many.
Because you would like, the quick answer, just have the police at every game or have a bigger
They can't
presence.
do it.
We
Right?
got a lot of schools and a lot of locations to cover. Basically, it's a free-for-all in the city on Friday night because all the police will be at
LAX
the
can do it,
game.
though.
Protecting.
Lex can do it. They ain't got this many. We got like 26 high schools. They got like 6 or 8, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
You
And to that point of, it's not like you have one officer. Like we have a presence. You have to have several. Well, with the number of schools, had you say several, that's going to be difficult. And of course, we know. Let's also not. We keep it real here.
Right?
And we know that every school may or may not have the same pool.
Right.
When we make sure we get the appropriate presence that we like. You see what I'm saying? So if there's already a limited amount,
Right.
and then we have to make sure
So who
this
they
school
gonna
get this
cover? Who they
school,
gonna
this school, then we're going to leave some schools with insufficient presence. And you never know which school you needed to have been at
Right.
that night until it happens. You don't know that Thursday something went wrong in class, so Friday
Bing.
it's time to get it fixed.
Bing.
You're not going to know
So
that they're
in
going to have
school
the presence.
security who probably is aware of it. Which don't get us twisted. We all been at games and everything. There are sheriffs and some police in the field and everything else that's around there. But you hit home. But you know, and social media tells on everybody. And they put their business on there. So when you know certain things is heated, what you gonna do? You have to address that. And you're right. I've probably been to a couple of games. I saw maybe, a 90-year-old sheriff. Well, who we gonna stop?
Yeah. Like Barney Fife got that one bullet. And he got a gun.
Like the Pinkerton man, like the Pinkerton man out there.
Who's he stop?
But
He ain't stopping no
they
damn
you
body.
have to get with the security at the school.
Right.
Like you said, they got to get the counseling system. Make sure everything's good to go. Like you said, that was a good bring up, as in who knows where, how, what's going on that week,
True.
the day before, that morning,
Right.
as they
Everything,
get to that point of that game, because we don't want the stuff to fall over. I don't like it where kids can't just go to another. If you're not from that school, you just can't go to another school, because I'm just thinking of, I got a nephew that lives close to Bourbon.
Okay.
He might just like football, or he goes to who knows what school, PRP or something. But at the same time, he likes football, and it's going to be a good game.
True.
Butler's playing Mel at Butler, so
Right.
hell, I want to go to that game.
And a lot of people do that. Not even just the kids. Even people our age be like, you know what? I want to check out such and such.
Yeah. So, I mean, just the fact of how things are, they need to get with the police station or have some other better way. I don't know if they got just the help, the metal detectors. They got wands where we go into games and stuff, but we see
And
how.
you hate to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's probably, even with those things in place, when it's all said and done, it's got to be punishment. And I think it's got to be a harsh punishment.
Okay.
Because harsh punishment, I feel like, may not stop but deters a lot of things. Now, I'm not saying
What's
you
that look like?
show up at,
What do you
well,
think?
I'm not. That's the tricky part, because I'm not saying, dude threw the gun over the thing should get locked up for a year. Maybe he should.
Yeah, I mean, he's a grown-ass man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He ain't no kid.
The person that took the gun, how long do they need to get locked up for? But these are you have essentially I guess you have to set a precedent. The precedent has to be set that if you have this at this game and we catch you with this at this game, you do not pass go, you do not collect $200, you are going straight to jail, and and this is how long your stint is going to be. Regardless if you get to go to court or not, and you go to a lawyer, that's great. But this is what this statute says, is that if you hear with this time, you're going to go to jail for X amount of time.
And JCYC, right? So my thing is this: if it's JCYC, you need to pun some fines too. Where are you getting this stuff from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because they shouldn't be. They be
Yeah.
held accountable. They need to. I'm not just sending little Johnny and JCYC. You going too? Because what little Johnny get? What are you doing? Like, I ain't looking at this book bag. I ain't been in this room in 10 years.
I worked 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Johnny,
I get it. And you get it.
Still got it.
But then about it is, my parents work too. They work too. And if you did something you weren't supposed to do, you're going to get it twice.
Right. Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So, let's hold other people accountable, and that's how you probably will get it back. But, I don't know what the fix can be, but I did want to bring this up because, like I said, when the mayor was like, I can't even take my daughter to leave a game. That's sad, man. That's sad shit.
And just to, I feel like I have to say this. It's a sad conversation to have because the correct answer is just simply because we want to make it safe. The correct answer is if the people just decide that we want to make our Friday night games a place where people can go, and we're not going to tolerate that even out of us. You understand what I'm saying? People are going to the game with a positive attitude and just like, I'm not going to disrupt what's going on here. If you really think about it, I would say go to places like Texas and places like that where it's like where high school football is it. Like
Prominent.
it is
Prominent.
the thing.
Prominent.
The city shuts down. And those, because a lot of those are little towns, and I'm talking about everything for, for high school football. But because they value it so much, they're gonna take care of that. They're gonna take care of that because they value it so much. It brings so
Community.
much. So that's what. So we have to value these communal spaces and just be like, we're just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
We are having to talk about solutions because in general, people just feel like this is a place where I can get your boy. That was Fat Mouth.
Right.
This is the place I know he's gonna be, so
at.
I'm gonna show up. So if we change that, then we're not having this conversation, and that's the ideal solution.
And that's been missing in society for a long time. You act your ass up, the neighbor done told on your ass, and you was gonna
got
get
3 whoopings.
You was gonna get it.
3.
You was gonna get it. It ain't that's missing. That's missing. And you hit it on the head, man. This because if Friday nights is what you do, that's a tradition. Why should that be taken away from you? So, you have all these meetings, you have all this stuff. Safety first, man. Safety first, bro. Big time.
Then something happens. Then what? What's your excuse?
Well, because then we see when things happen. After a certain point, the penalties get draconian, and once they do, then everybody complains about how hard it is to go to the game because they put so much on top of it. Now it's police everywhere. Now you get patted down and everything. Now it's not even an enjoyable experience. You see what I'm saying? And that's where you don't want to go. Where it's like I have to make it an unenjoyable experience to make it safe. That you're creating one problem by solving another.
You shouldn't be reactionary. You should already have a plan in action. Preventive maintenance, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Last thing I want to say, and I don't have a thing. Junior Bridgman passed away this week. Fundraising. Hall of Fame man. Let's put it that way. We got some people. I know for sure one person that's had. That I know who had interaction. 2, T-Rock, and I know the Bump has interaction with Junior Bridgman. Was actually at a fundraiser, Boy Scouts fundraiser, and had a heart attack and ended up passing. Somebody who put in time as a human being, and once he made his way up the ladder, he did not look down at you or down at the ladder. Every time, and you hear the stories, every time that he had conversations with people, it's eye to eye. I'm not better than you. It's real. Louisville lost a true legend. I'm not talking about Universal Louisville. I'm talking about the city of Louisville. There's going to be so many things that come back that what he has done that nobody knew, it's going to be unbelievable. You're already hearing stories trickle out. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people who's probably watching this don't even remember Junior as a basketball player, right? You had to be really into it, or your peoples had to tell you about him. Dude is a legend as a human being, and the city of Louisville, Milwaukee, lost a great one. So God bless him, his family. Condolences to his family, and the Louisville family, the Louisville family, the University of Louisville family, his brothers and things like that. We was texting, going back and forth when the word was getting out that he had an incident, an episode, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it, during that event, and a guy who had the map to all these young guys. It's not even about playing sports. This is as a person, what you need to do, the things you need to do and accomplish, everything you have to do. He was that guy. And from the 54 Sports Network family. He's truly going to be missed. The person. Y'all can add whatever y'all want to do. I know traveling with you and all this kind of stuff.
Just a quick story of how I met him. So I was in the airport going on my honeymoon many moons ago. And without going into too much detail about that.
Right.
On that note.
There you go. And I'll tell you how long ago it was, because when I was at the airport, I saw my father walk by. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, well, every year the university sends me to like Belize or Barbados. We have sister schools there. And every year I go there to, help out or do whatever. I was like, well, that's cool. And as we're sitting there talking, Junior Bridgman walks up. Wow. My dad turns around and says, hey, Junior, how you doing? And they just rapping and stuff. And he's like, this is my son, Travis. He just got married. We're talking. And said,
Blaine Hudson.
She waving, you know what I'm saying? And we had just the three of us have this conversation. I had no idea the man had like money. It was just like, you don't know. He was just cool, just chilling. Like, I saw him as a former U basketball player.
Right.
Keep in mind, I had no idea what he did in the league.
Right.
I saw him as a U of L basketball player that, I finally got one of the best I got to meet.
Right.
And he was such a cool, down to earth, like it was insane. Like, he was just a regular dude. Like, he would sit here talking to us and, drinking a bourbon and just, you never know. It was such a good experience. And, and again, me being ignorant, not even knowing stuff, but just knowing this guy was a basketball player, was cool, and, and we could just have this regular conversation about just stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think at the time he was doing something for the university anyway. I think, that's when they were out looking for, as a matter of fact, oddly enough, I think they was out there looking for a dean.
Oh, okay.
And that's when they ended up hiring my dad as the dean anyway, because he was acting dean. And then they just hired him anyway. So he was actually going somewhere to talk to someone about being a dean or something to that effect. And so it was insane. But the man is, again, like I said, he's not a legend, but he was such. There's a lot of people who pass, and you'll see it on the news all the time. Oh, he'd give you the shirt off his back. He would do this. This man was genuinely so nice. I would guarantee you he would do that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that, because people that's talking about him are saying the same thing. He's such a nice guy. He is this and that. That is the truth.
It's consistent.
It's consistent. There is nobody that you heard that said anything different. Not just because the man passed, because that's who he was.
Yeah. Heartfelt.
Yeah.
Across the country.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So and one thing I was surprised, both surprised and not surprised. So I know most people saw Shaquille O'Neal gave a tribute to Junior Bridgman on Inside the NBA.
Sir.
Talking about how he based a lot of his business acumen, his path after Junior Bridgman. One thing, when you talk about all the charity work and everybody talks about how charitable he was.
Right.
But if you Google him and Google charitable work and all this stuff, you see a few things. You see a listing for his company, but you don't see just a litany of things. But I think it's because of how real he was. Everybody says it.
Bring it home.
But you don't see it. That means he wasn't doing it for the fame. He was just, man, you need me to make a call for you. But see, there's not going to be a reporter there for those days. But when that's what you're doing, that resonates with people because they know it's genuine. They know you're not doing it for a photo op.
Right.
They know you're not doing it to build a resume so I can go get some more people to donate to my foundation. You see what I'm saying? It's not like he had all his money. All his money was like his nonprofit paying him $10 million.
Right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? That man is still hustling.
Yep.
He still had that mentality of a builder, and thus he would bring builders along with him.
Well, I wanted to break it down and just tell y'all some of his history is in sports.
Right.
So we're going to start with DeVille. He was an All-American in 1975. Led the Cardinals to the national semifinals in 1975. two-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year,
Yes, sir.
1974 and 1975.
Yep.
He's one of 20 honored jerseys for the University of Louisville. 14th best career scoring average per game. He was a member. He's a member of the U of L Athletic Hall of Fame. He served in numerous years as the U of L board trustees. Yeah. So we're gonna go to the pros now. The pros. First round pick, 1975 NBA draft. Played 12 seasons for the Milwaukee Bucks. 12. He played a total of 12 seasons. 10 for the Bucks, 2 for the Clippers.
Right.
He got his and jersey retired for the Bucks. I mean, you talk about this man played 10 seasons for the Bucks, got his jersey retired. Okay. Right there. Played 711 games for the Milwaukee Bucks. And served 4 years as the president of the NBA Association. So right out being, like you said, and I'll go off of, you've seen so much of this man getting talked about and just so how great of a guy he was. And my whole thing was watching Shaq, was one of my favorite players of all time. And seeing him talk about Junior and see that whole speech, I mean, it's like, just makes you just think, this had to be a great guy. Simple as that. How Shaq was like, he just wanted to be like I knew who the guy was to call him. And it's not like he could have been a whole different way with other people. Like, man, look, I can't give my secret. Shaq said he opened up the book. He was like, look, want me to make a call for you? I got this, this. He's like, hey, different things, but at the same time, you hear all over the country, I see all type of tweets about how this man was. And like I said, the city has lost a great man.
And just FYI, that 7-11 games played is third all time in franchise history.
That's what I'm talking about.
9th total in franchise history in points, and 10th in minutes played, and 7th in field goals made. Just FYI, he was not a scrub. Career 13 points per
Right.
game.
Right.
So let's just
Right.
be clear.
Right.
If the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award was around back then,
Right.
he might have 2 or 3 of them.
Right. No, I got you.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good.
Period.
He hit a period on that one. He slammed that on, that's for sure. And it is letting everybody know that period. So Junior Bridgman would be definitely missed, truly missed, big time. And to you, Junior.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One other thing I want to say before we get off of here, because before the game and stuff like, we actually have a superstar with us. I'm not talking about Don. I'm not talking about T-Rock with his Franklin County love. I'm not talking about Brian G. and all that stuff. Because of Brian Howard, big time, has been observing us and all this kind of stuff. He's actually been in movies and things like that. And shout out to Cuz, all that kind of stuff. Man, let everybody see you, brother. That's all.
Say hi.
Yeah. You girls, come on, come on for a second, brother. Yeah. Let everybody know, man. Yeah, come on, sit over here.
I ain't that big.
Man, she little bit something for the game.
I sit right here.
Yeah, you sit right there. Nice shirt, man.
Thank you, sir.
Cuzzo, man, how you been doing, though, man?
I am both blessed and highly favored.
Right.
Man.
What you been doing, man?
On the grind, I can't call it like a referee without a whistle. But I'm on the grind, as we do. Working on, I wrote the world's greatest little action short film, and we're pitching some shows to Warner Brothers Discovery. So
Okay.
it doesn't stop.
Cool. Cuz is a grinder. He's a grinder. I'm gonna tell you. Let them know where you been, what you been in, and all this kind of stuff, because they probably think I'm lying.
Yeah, tell them how they can find your material, man. Show them where to
Yeah,
go.
well, the last, kind of, I guess maybe it's a big project, small project. It was this director, this guy, probably never heard. He's from
Probably not.
He's from Brooklyn. He's a big Knicks fan. You guys
Big Knicks fan.
on the sports show.
Big Knicks fan.
His whole goal was to get those 40 acres and the mule.
That guy.
Spike Lee.
Okay.
And we shot this movie called The Five Bloods. We shot it over in Thailand. We were all over Bangkok, southern Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, with our beloved and our forever king Chadwick was in that movie. But I was with Spike for like 2-3 months shooting that film, and it was truly an incredible.
Let me ask you, cuz. Let me ask you this: what advice do you give to someone who's trying to get into acting and that whole industry, man? Because you did a film with us.
Hey!
Back in the day, we're not gonna get into that. We ain't that. But what kind of advice you think I What kind of on the real tip, man? Because that's the one thing we always want to do. We always want to share journeys and stuff like this. What kind of advice would you give someone who's trying to be an up and coming actor?
As the great Joe Pesci says, don't do it. Do something else. Because when I tell you I've been to hell and back twice, fought with the devil and about 1,000 ninjas who are crazy, it's been tough, man. But if that's where your heart is being led to, if that's where you want to go, you need to be around the people. So you need to be, if you want to be a model, for example, you need to be in New York. If you want to act, you need to be in LA. If you want to be on Broadway, you need to be in New York, at least near Broadway. Not our Broadway, but like New York Broadway.
Real Broadway.
Yeah, we just had in Austin, Texas, South by Southwest, which is a huge tech film music conference. So you need to be where the people are. You need to be at these film festivals.
Yes, sir.
My birthday weekend is Cannes Film Festival in the south of France. So I say we take the show on the road and we all go to the south of France.
I got my passport, baby.
I got one stamp. Only got one
For a little
stamp.
bit. Yeah, so I mean, here in town, I'm in Louisville. I'm on the I'm an executive board member for the KBFA, the Kentucky Black Filmmakers Association. But I believe we're opening that up. Instead of Black Filmmakers, we're calling it now BIPOC, Black Indigenous People of Color. So the Kentucky BIPOC Filmmakers Association.
Okay.
So we're on the board for that. You guys mentioned the old, was it Freedom Hall or Louisville Gardens?
Louisville Gardens.
So we'll be turning that, knock on wood, inshallah, into like the $60 million, full-on, film production studio. So a lot of great stuff happening. We just had the premiere for Queen of the Ring.
Queen of the Ring. Yeah.
Shout out to OVW a lot. I met half the Basham brothers were there, and like some old school wrestlers
Yeah,
over there.
AEW was there.
Yeah, it was a lot of great people. So I would say whether I mention red carpet events or award shows or film markets, film festivals,
Right.
you want to be there. Then always network as much as possible, and then always work on your craft. So whether you're a stand-up comedian, go to the improv, go to the comedy spots.
Yeah.
Always be writing. Always be. If you're an actor, working on your craft.
Hey, man, y'all never know who shows up. This is what we do, 54 Sports Network. It is what it is.
They didn't give me a glass and nothing.
No. He's gonna drink. He's gonna use the bottle on his drink. The actor shit's out the door. It's out the door. Cuz it's gonna be real in a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Y'all know how we do. First of all, like I always say, man, I'm truly blessed to be around these guys. The special talent that 54 Sports have is remarkable. And a lot of people think you do things. You need a great foundation. You need brothers and sisters that's gonna be by you. And sometimes that brothers and sisters are not your blood, but they become your blood. And that's what we do. We have a family here, and it ain't just here. We got some people who ain't on here, some people in different states, and we really believe in each other. And it is what it is. And y'all know how we do, and we're gonna leave you guys with this. Louisville Clemson, score prediction.
87-82 good guys. U of L over Clemson.
Don.
79 to 68. The Cards all day, every day.
T-Rock.
75-65.
Brian.
74 Louisville, 73 Losers in a close game.
Oh,
Oh my God!
Jesus.
Oh,
I'm gonna go 75 to 68 DeVille. And y'all know how we do. Thank you guys for joining Big Time. It is what it is. Peace out, guys.